Imagine a world where we remove the number zero. Computers gone, calculus impossible, architecture would just be an imagination, and our entire understanding of the universe would fall apart. Yet, there was a time when concept of zero did not exist. Today we are exploring the very fascinating story of zero, its ancient origins, its controversial journey, and how it became the very foundation of modern life. Before zero, civilizations developed ingenious ways but flawed ways to count and calculate. Take the Babylonians, for example. They used a base 60, a sexagesimal system, where they were among the first to use the placeholder for nothing, represented by a small gap or two wedges. But this placeholder wasn't a true zero. It couldn't stand alone as a number. The ancient Egyptians didn't even consider the idea of nothing in their hieroglyphic system. The math was practical but focused on building things like pyramids and measuring land, and not abstract concept like zero or nothing. And the Roman numeral system, it was brilliant for trade and war records. But for very obvious reasons, it was utterly impractical for calculation. The math was slow and cumbersome. Imagine calculating x v111 by x11. It's not possible. The first true zero, as both a concept and a numeric value, was born in ancient India around the 5th century AD. Indian mathematician Aryabhatta began using a symbol in his astronomical calculations. He didn't call it zero yet, he referred to it as kha, meaning space or void. But the real breakthrough came in 628 AD with Brahmagupta. Brahmagupta, often considered the father of zero, formalized its use in his book Brahmas Bhuta Siddhanta. He gave zero a name, Sunya, meaning void, and defined its mathematical properties. For example, he established rules like a number minus itself equals zero, and a number multiplied by zero equals zero. But even Brahmagupta struggled with dividing by zero. He described it as an undefined quantity, and it remains one of the most puzzling concepts even in math today. But why did India embrace zero when other cultures feared it? Perhaps it was their philosophical outlook. The concept of sunya, which is emptiness essentially, was deeply rooted in Indian thought, especially in Buddhism and Hinduism, where nothingness was seen as a state of potential, not a void to be feared. The story of zero would have ended in India, but it didn't. In the 7th century, Arab mathematicians encountered Indian texts and adopted their numeral system, including zero. One of the key figures was Al-Khwarizmi, a Persian polymath whose work in algebra and algorithms transformed mathematics. Al-Khwarizmi translated Indian texts into Arabic, referring to zero as sifr, meaning empty. The term eventually evolved into cipher, a word still used for codes and zeros even today. Another influential figure, Al-Kindi, used zeros in cryptography to develop sophisticated encryption techniques, essentially the first form of coded communication. By the 12th century, these ideas reached Europe through translations in Spain. The Italian mathematician, very famous mathematician, Fibonacci, famous for this Fibonacci sequence, introduced the Hindu Arabic numeral system to the West in his book Liber Abaci. He demonstrated how zero and positional notation could simplify calculations, making it a game changer for merchants and accountants. Despite this resistance, zero proved too powerful to ignore. By the 15th century, zero had become indispensable in fields like banking and astronomy. The rise of capitalism and trade in Renaissance Europe demanded efficient accounting and very efficient systems, and zero became the cornerstone of double entry bookkeeping and accounting as we know today. Zero didn't just revolutionize commerce, it transformed science as well. In the 17th century, Isaac Newton and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz independently developed calculus, a field that relies heavily on the concept of limits and the value of zero. Without it, we couldn't describe the motion of planets, the flow of fluids, or even the behavior of light. Fast forward to the 20th century, and zero became the hero of the binary system. The entire digital revolution, the computers, the internet, artificial intelligence, everything is built on just two numbers, one and zero. The binary code used 0 to represent the absence of a signal and 1 to represent its presence, creating the foundation of modern computing. 0 isn't just a number, it's a concept that challenges the entirety of humanity and our existence. For centuries, philosophers have debated its meaning, and is 0 truly nothing? Or is it a placeholder for potential? Modern physics wrestles with similar questions while studying the vacuum of space. Is it empty or is it teeming up with quantum energy? Zero also teaches us an important lesson. What seems insignificant can often have the greatest impact. It's a number that embodies both the absence of something and the possibility of everything. From ancient mathematicians to the digital age, zero has been a symbol of transformation. It reminds us that even the most abstract idea can change the course of history. So the next time you see a zero on a price tag or a clock, remember it's not just a number. It's the key to understanding our existence.